to, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, but like this whole schedule, and my body said, hell no. My body said, girl, you is 32, and this is not what we do these days.
You should try that P90X shit. I did that once in my early 30s, and it damn near killed me. I mean,
I've never done
I'm not even kidding. I'm surprised I survived. Like, it's crazy.
It damn near killed me in my early 20s.
You said what, Rudy?
I said P90X damn near killed me in my early 20s. So
that shit's no joke.
It's just it was too much.
Start out if you just starting working out to do 2 a days.
Yeah, that's rough.
After you did a big one on Monday and then 2 a day. Yeah,
exactly. So I just
but I heard the HIIT workouts, they work a lot better than most.
How long was the workout?
Yeah, you go high intensity till you can't take it anymore, then you slow it down, then you crank it back up again when you can,
and the guy is like a drill sergeant, kind of, sort of like
They always are.
They always are. Yeah,
they have to be.
Yeah, so I was like, I was like, even though he offers a class Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8, I was like, I'm gonna have to pull back. We're gonna have to start with one day a week, and build up because
yeah, you don't want to go too hard too fast. You have a heart attack like that.
Even today, after I left Zumba, I was telling Chris, I was like, man, I am exhausted. Like, I just took a hot shower bath and like took a nap all day. I was like, this is not gonna work because I still got to go to work. I still got stuff to do. I still got to be
productive. When you take a bath, try Epsom salt. It helps with the muscle ache.
Absolutely. So
And it's pretty cheap.
You tear old ass. You got the old school remedy. Epsom salt, rubbing alcohol.
No, just Epsom salt. But it's nice. You can get it with lavender in it, so it smells good.
I'll try that.
Pretty good. I've been around. I know some things.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate you guys working with me.
Then don't worry about it. I'll just get something after.
I was way across town trying to make it back during.
All right, let's kick this pig.
Rudy, you're always on time, so we can.
Chakalaka.
All right.
Where is you to go?
Hold on, Terry. My finger wasn't ready. I'm sorry. I was trying to get my charger out of my ass.
The shakalaka's already been boomed.
Fair enough.
Top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world.
Was that the remix version? That sounded weird to me.
It didn't sound like an echo or something?
Yeah, it was weird.
Okay, thought it was just me.
I thought you were hitting us with the remix.
No, it was just fucked up. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another episode of the Worst Ones podcast. We are PKs, preachers' kids, here to make our pastor parents proud. My name is Rudy Wilson. Got Terry Wayne, Kellie Lee, Janessa, Rowland. We're all here. We're all PKs. Welcome back, guys. Terry, Kellie, feel like I just saw you.
I know it.
Even though I was in a different city. But
like the NFL, we on short week.
We are on short week. Absolutely. We had a Thursday game. For those of y'all who get the football reference. Terry, let's start with you, man. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. My Titans were playing on Monday Night Football this week, and they killed it against the Bills. Best team. Everybody says they're the best team this year. And
the Bills?
Yeah, I know you wouldn't think it, but
the Bills came a long way.
Yeah.
Okay.
They actually were the shit back in the day. I mean, they went to 4 straight Super Bowls, lost.
Yeah, back in the 90s. Yeah, but they never won any of them. Back in the 90s, but yeah, they did go to many Super Bowls in the 90s.
Yeah. They weren't always ass.
Nobody's always ass, except for the Browns. You know.
And the Falcons.
Yeah.
The Falcons? What are you talking about? You were in the Super Bowl
Falcons get good every
Patriots like 3 years ago.
I'm about to say they get good every 20 years.
We don't mention that game because it is such a.
Hey, by the way,
it's such a heartbreaker.
I would like to thank you on behalf of the Titans organization for Julio Jones, though.
Is that where he plays now?
Yeah, y'all thought he was too old. Now he's getting touchdowns for us.
He was all we had as well, so
Well, that's fine. We took Ryan Tannehill from the Dolphins and put him to work too. So
make it happen. I don't.
He does great for us. I don't know what y'all did with
the
him.
last championship that anybody in Atlanta won, I think, was the Braves, and that was
95.
That was 95, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're in the NFC, just going to the Super Bowl is enough. You know,
No,
the
it's
AFC is
not.
always better.
Not when you were winning 28-7 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
talk
I know
about
that
that.
was rough. That was rough, but you know.
And then the same thing
you
happened to
faced the Tom
UGA with
Brady
Alabama.
Patriots.
But
you
the
know?
same thing happened with
deserved to lose.
UGA and Alabama. Like I'm saying, but they were up in the fourth quarter and they blew it. Like
That made it even more sweet.
what's up with what's up? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you hate them. That's right. My bad. Okay. Well, anyways, do you hate other Georgia colleges as well, Spelman?
No, just.
I mean, no. I'm talking about Kellie, because I know you do because you got the tech. But I'm saying, do you got any hatred towards any rival schools in
I don't
Georgia?
have a hatred or a love or
Gotcha.
care.
We love everybody else.
Okay. Gotcha.
My nephew was a Georgia fan, so I'm a Georgia fan.
Well, I meant even as reference, even if it was on the HBCU level, anything. Like, do you hate, you know?
I mean, I guess we're supposed to, like, Clark is our rival, but I don't really.
Gotcha.
As you can see, I took that all of the sports conversation. I'm eating my popcorn.
Gotcha. I thought that was popcorn too, but I was just gonna say that as a joke, but it really is popcorn.
Popcorn and cucumbers. I have like the most makeshift dinner tonight.
Are you pregnant? What's going on here?
I am not pregnant.
Popcorn and cucumbers.
Popcorn, cucumbers, and a protein shake.
You're either higher pregnant. Which one is it?
Neither.
Jesus Christ. Well, how right. Well, how are you doing,
right out the gate on this one? Yeah.
You said, how am I? I'm great.
How are you?
No complaints. Been a good week at work. Yeah, I can't complain. Like I said, other than my makeshift dinner, which is pretty good to me. I'm good.
Gotcha.
I don't have much to share.
Gotcha. Okay. Janessa Rowland.
What's up?
How art thou?
Thou art tired. Okay.
Okay.
Tired. Tired. Can't even say the whole word. My body hurts from all the exercising. My stomach hurts from trying to eat healthy. Like I just want fries and
your body really knows when you make like a diet change. Like it knows that you're, you know, like it feels bad when you first try to do better with the eating. Like it.
Yeah. And it's hard
it's
to
funny
break
how
old
healthy
habits.
food makes you feel like crap.
Or even just eating less, like when your body know that you're just eating less or eating something different, like you feel it for them first couple of days.
Well, what's funny is you go to McDonald's and you eat the chemical burgers and whatnot, and you feel amazing for about 30 minutes.
You feel horrible.
Yeah.
No, school's kicking my butt, work's kicking my butt. It's just that time of year. Can we get to Thanksgiving?
Do you have any butt left to kick? Any butt left?
You know, like it's what the Bible say? There's a time and place for everything. I mean, whatever time that is. Okay. So just add me to the prayer list, and I'll be all right. The sick and shut in.
Sick and shut in, right?
Gotcha. I'll be all right.
Gotcha. No doubt. Well, I'm in Jacksonville. I will be here pretty much all this week. It is actually my school's homecoming this week.
Hey.
I won't be there till this weekend. So whatever they're doing right now and throughout the week, you know, more power to them.
That was always more for the students though, right?
It is, which I still kind of don't understand because, you know, homecoming would kind of suggest, you know, coming home, like alumni, you know. I never really, and when I was a student, I was a football player, so I never really got to enjoy the festivities anyways. But yeah, so there's nothing really planned for us outside of, you know, if you want, I mean, you can go to the, you know, the comedy show and whatever. Yeah, like we got which this is probably like the biggest celebrity year we probably ever had because we don't ever pay for anybody to come.
Oh,
you know, like we had Trina when nobody cared. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, she's still a thing to just say the black community, but I'm saying like she didn't have any new hits or you know what I'm saying? Like she was yeah. So we've had
all in Florida, so that works, right?
Right. We had like Travis Porter after they was done. We had
Not after they were done.
after they was done. And
You
we
know,
had,
I was one person.
you said you had what?
I thought that was one person. Travis Porter.
No, it's
No,
three.
the other one is the Roscoe Dash is one person, but Travis Porter was three. Yeah.
Kelly, did you see they're gonna be in concert for Georgia State's homecoming this weekend?
I did not see that.
Travis Porter, Roscoe Dash, Rich Kids.
What they know? What they know about Roscoe Dash? That was back when I was in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. we were. It's so yeah. We have so this year. I think they still got a couple people I don't really know like that, but I know they got DJ Envy DJing something.
Oh, okay.
And then they got for the comedy show, they got people of the likes of like Tyler Chronicles, Darren Brand, a couple Wild 'N Out stars. Yeah, a couple Wild 'N Out stars.
Okay.
Which once again for our school is big because when I was there, we had like Shouty after he was done. we had Bruh Man from the fifth floor. He been done. You know what I'm saying? We had y'all ever seen the movie Johnson's Family Vacation?
I have. I don't remember it, but I have.
Do you remember it was a guy on there? He used to always be like Kinfo.
Mm-hmm.
We had him exactly. we don't even know this nigga name, and I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but I had to say the part in the movie for you. We had him, and this was many years after that movie came out. So I say that to say this is a big step for us.
Wait, who do you have again?
DJ Envy and some other people. I gotta look up the flyer. I don't know these other people's names. Yeah, but I won't be there either way. So shout out to DJ Envy. He's about the only person I know. So it's our homecoming. Shout out to used to be EWC, now EWU, and that's it. Upgrade, right? All right, cool. Let's get it crunk up in this mother. All right, Terry, it's on you, sir.
To finish off the trilogy of what's a sin, is nudity a sin? Because there's a lot of people that seem to think it is.
And explain this though.
Well, in my contention is basically how could it be a sin when you're as God made you, and not to mention, but the Garden of Eden, what was meant to be a paradise, wasn't clothing optional. But when God cast us out, he gave us apparently the shame which made Adam and Eve cover themselves. So does that mean it's a sin?
But when you're talking about in today's time, are you talking about in reference to like women dressing half naked nudity, or you mean like the strip club, or you mean just?
I mean the physical body. I mean your own physical nude body.
Right, but I'm saying, but in what way are people, I guess, saying that this is a sin?
Usually because most Americans in our society naturally associate nudity with sexuality, right? But it's not like that in other places of the world. Other places of the world, they separate sexuality from nudity as to not give, say, for instance, a good example, children a complex about their own bodies.
Right. So I get. I don't know. Maybe ladies, y'all can go ahead. I still don't think I understand the portion in which people are saying that it's wrong. As far as the point that you're making, like I get you're saying our physical body, but like I've never heard anybody say like if you walk around your house naked, that's a sin. You know
right. But think about it this way. If you went to your congregation and told your church that you spend the weekend going to the nude beach, what would they So
looking at nudity, not so much me being nude.
Well, not nude, not when you get in the shower, you're sinning. I mean, like just seeing another naked person letting somebody see you naked. I'm trying to bridge that divide between nudity and sexuality because in this country, because we're all Puritan based, we tend to think anything that makes you uncomfortable is a sin, when I contest that it is not.
So, for example, you would say like Playboy is not a sin.
No.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand. Okay, go.
But if you use it in a sexual way, maybe it is.
So that's what I
get right. Go ahead.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think nudity itself is a sin. I think like, are you lusting after that person when you see them? Because if that's what you're doing, then according to the Bible, lust is sin.
Let me give you let me sharpen the pencil a little bit more on this. Say, for instance, like I spent a lot of time in Europe. There, you could be watching TV on 8 o'clock on a Sunday night or a Saturday night. I mean, just watching like a regular network, like NBC, their version of NBC or something like that. Mm-hmm. And here comes a dude running down a hallway with his dick just flapping around.
On TV or in person?
No, on TV.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But in that same instance, if he was to be shown on that same channel in that same show, naked, but he was erect, they wouldn't allow that, because that's where that's the difference between sexuality and nudity.
Gotcha.
Kellie left. She's had it with this already. You're on mute, girl.
You're on mute, Kellie.
I'm saying I'm here. I just didn't want y'all to see me being ghetto. Open up this bag with my teeth.
We've already seen you doing that. We know how ghetto you are. It's fine.
So I didn't want y'all to hear it or see it.
Gotcha.
Too late.
Gotcha. Okay. Continue on.
I think he was done. Janessa, were you still talking or were you?
Oh, I was thinking, but I still think it's still the same. I don't think that nudity itself is a sin. Maybe the lust component. And then also, I'm not 100% sure, because clearly I haven't done no research on this topic. But I want to say...
Well, just speak from your heart.
The Bible references or talks about... and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, something to the effect of like following, obeying the government, like the laws of the governing bodies or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like now if nudity is like legally illegal.
Not really.
Huh?
Not really.
Well, I think, in certain places, where did the whole you have to have a shirt, shoes thing before
that's
entering
more
the
of a corporate policy than anything else. But like, for instance,
walk around the streets naked.
Rudy probably knows this. Rudy, we have here in Florida, because of our climate, there are several nudist colonies down here. There's several nude beaches. In New York City, for example, a woman can walk around topless that's legal.
Right, well, but don't they at least have to have the pasties or something over their nipple?
Nope. My other co-host, Giovanni, you remember her? Mm-hmm. No, she went to New York and walked around tits out. No problem.
Well, regardless of what each individual state's policy rules, whatever, I'm just saying for the context of this conversation, if I'm quoting the Bible correctly, you're
laws of the land is what you're referring to.
Yeah, you're supposed to follow the law of the land as well. But I don't know the details of that verse. I haven't, like I said, researched it. So, but in that context, I think if that is what we're, God is telling us, or the Bible tells us to do, is to uphold the rules of the land, and the rules say no shirt, no shoes, no service, then
no tickets, no skates.
Well, the main thing that I wanted to get into was the reason why I ask, is it a sin, is because when Adam and Eve back in the Garden of Eden, they ate the fruit of the tree of good knowledge of good and evil, and that is when they started feeling shameful of their bodies, and that's when they covered themselves. If you remember in Genesis, God showed up and says, "Why are you covering yourself?"
Right.
That's how he kind of, knew what they had done. So is that being a direct descendant about the way we look at, nudity today in our society? Is that just that sin, that first sin following us?
I will say this. I mean, this is just my opinion. So I think nudity, for one, gets a bad rep because in most places it's illegal to the degree of walking around freely. Now, of course, most places have strip clubs and places where it is appropriate, but even you can't even like whip out and pee on the side of the road without getting a sexual offender charge. You know what I'm saying?
Indecent exposure.
But I'm saying that's still nudity though. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. Like if you're still like so there's definitely just a negative connotation behind it. And then even when it comes down to movies and stuff like that, people know sex sells. So they'll definitely, find, just say, the Halle Berry and pay her extra to show her tits, or,
which they did, and they were awesome. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Or they may, get a guy, even though this isn't technically nudity, we take off our shirts, but, the guy be muscular with his shirt off, may show his ass or something like that. But they'll most of the time they'll restrict the private crotch area on both people, even if they show everything else. So it definitely has some type of stigma. Maybe it's more adult entertainment or whatever like that. But when it comes down to, just say, like the whole church aspect, why the church would probably consider it a sin, and I'm using the word probably because I didn't look up a scripture or anything, is because, to Janessa's point, I think it's pretty hard to see somebody naked, especially when that's not the norm, and you not kind of lust after them, especially if you're attracted to them. So
depending on what they look like, right?
But I'm saying, like, if you're attracted to them, then I think that will provoke lust. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, which goes back to the whole what we were saying with Jesus Watch the Players Club. We're thinking about all the nudity, you know what I'm saying, that's in it, or even just the whole storyline. It's like,
yeah, but he wouldn't care about that. He'd be like, my dad made you. It's fine. It's,
I mean, regardless of what he would say, but I'm saying that's the whole, that's the whole negative connotation in the Christian community, is because, well, I would say that's the nail in, in the hammer, but I think partially because of the lust factor. Like, if you look at this naked woman or naked man, it's going to be hard to not have imaginations that are of the devil, if you will.
Right. But is that because we do it? Do we make that happen by saying, by hundreds of years, thousands, if all honesty, of saying, no, cover that up? Are we the ones that are making it enticeful? Are we the ones making it sexual? Because imagine if tomorrow you woke up and you went out on the street and everyone was naked. You can't just walk around lusting after everybody, can you?
Well,
did we create this negative connotation about nudity because of the way we have reacted to it in a Puritan society like ours?
I think it started back, like you said, back to Adam and Eve in the garden, though. So I don't know if we made it. There was, I don't think it's a sin, but as you said, when they ate the apple off the tree and disobeyed the Lord, then he made them be able to see each other. Beforehand, they were innocent. They didn't realize they were naked. They didn't realize they were without clothes.
Oh no, but he didn't do that. They ate the fruit and he didn't tell them, you're naked, you should be ashamed.
Right, exactly.
By eating the fruit, they gained the knowledge.
Right.
That should be shameful.
Right. So, but even going back to that, the shame, the guilt, whatever they felt when they realized that they were naked and needed to cover themselves or whatever, it goes all the way back to the beginning. So it's not something like, sometimes we talk about things that are different in biblical times than they are in current times. Like This is something that has been, from Genesis 1. I don't know, it may not be 1, but
it's not 1.
7, right? It's somewhere in there, Genesis. From Genesis,
it's around there.
Somewhere in those, the beginning of Genesis, where nudity, with being naked, has been, I wouldn't say a sin, because I don't think it's a sin, but it's been inappropriate, or it's been, I don't know.
If God wanted you to have pants, you wouldn't be born naked.
I don't know how true that is.
Because,
what do you mean?
Well, for one,
he can create the universe, but he can't give you some chinos.
Jesus had a garment that had a hem that somebody was trying to touch. So obviously he didn't have an issue with clothes. So I don't think that he had this, because if that was the case, he would have set the example. Y'all supposed to be naked. Take the clothes off.
I'm not saying I have a problem with that. I'm not even saying
I'm not saying that you. No. I'm not saying that towards you, but I'm saying in reference to God. Just say he wouldn't want us to have pants. I'm saying I don't know how that argument stands, because when Jesus came and to be our example, he wore clothes. He didn't make an argument that, why y'all got clothes on? What are y'all doing? Y'all should be naked. You know what I'm saying? So you feel what I'm saying?
But that goes back to the laws of the land. When you are in Rome, you do as the Romans.
Right, but see, I also still have a problem with the laws of the land because every time we bring this up, I always bring up slavery, which was a law of the land.
I agree.
When Janessa said that, Rudy's gonna go back to that. Which I'm always
right. I'm always go back to it.
I don't think we ever have an answer for you.
Right. And we've had slaves. We've had slaves. Remember this? We've had slaves since before Christ came to earth.
Right.
So this isn't a new trend. Ask the Jews; they know.
Right. I'm saying, whether it's the Egyptians, Hebrew, whatever. I'm saying the slavery in general, like that was a law of the land. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody, I feel like if anybody tried to go against that, that's kind of hard. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's kind of hard for me to say that they're sinning going against the law of the land because they don't want to be a slave.
Well, we don't talk about this stuff to find out who's right or wrong. We talk about this stuff to disseminate information, because of who we are and how we were raised. We're here to share ideas and see what's what.
Right.
Not about right or wrong.
Agreed. Because you guys are wrong most of the time playing. No, I agree. I'm here, so I'm sitting here trying to look up like scriptures on, I guess, if sin is wrong.
Me too.
Because to your point, Terry, that is a good point in the sense of Adam and Eve gained knowledge that being naked was shameful. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Without God or anybody telling them. So that does make it appear that it's probably at least shameful, inappropriate. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Maybe they were bad body and they were disgusted with themselves. And it was like,
I doubt that. I doubt the first
they even knew
God ever created had love.
Adam had a little shrimp. He was like, I have to cover this up. I don't
I wonder what Adam and Eve.
Well, think about this though. That how can it possibly be a sin? Because before they ate that fruit, God had made them and kept them nude and loved them in the nude. So, how could it possibly be a sin? Is it apparently just a corruption of the natural spirit?
But it might have already been wrong because remember they just didn't know, they didn't have the knowledge of good and evil. It didn't.
Well, no. That can't possibly be.
But I'm saying if you have a tree that can prevent you from, as long as you don't eat it, you'll never have the knowledge of good and evil. That doesn't mean good and evil doesn't exist, is what I'm saying. It just means you don't have the knowledge.
But that can't be. It can't be because again, God made them and He made them nude, and to say that was a sin or that was evil, it'd be tantamount to saying that God created something evil, which is impossible.
I mean, He created the devil.
So one thing I saw in this little quick Google search that I thought was interesting was a perspective of it is shameful for one who knows good but does not do good. And so in that moment, when they ate from the tree of life, they knew not to eat from it, but they did it. And in doing so, now the covering that they had is like gone. Now they, because of their actions, are feeling the shame, not necessarily
because of the
that they're nude, is because of their actions. And that, according to what this is saying, it's like part of the Bible scripture is that they became aware, not necessarily that they were shamed that they were naked, but that was just something that was, put on them after they became aware of, after they became shamed because of their actions, because they disobeyed the rules that were set.
So basically, like God said, hey, I made paradise for you so you could hang out with your balls out, and you had to go and eat this fruit, and now it's ruined.
Yeah.
Basically.
And it's also the question, I mean, why did God even put the tree there in the first place?
Because there is no faith without temptation.
But I'm saying you could easily be like, yo, go to paradise, be naked. That's just like what if we go to heaven and God, like, you can stay in heaven for all eternity.
And everybody's naked.
As long as you don't eat from this tree. My whole point of why is this tree here, God? Like I done made it to heaven now. You know what I'm saying? So if we're kind of equating it to paradise, the Garden of Eden, you got everything you need.
Free will. You got to have free will. You got to have a choice.
But see that just goes into another rabbit hole of how I even feel about that. But the whole
what are we here? We're a show for rabbit holes.
No, right. But I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the same rabbit hole of the whole free will thing because we've discussed it. But I mean, we've definitely all entered this world naked. We come out of the vagina naked. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do think. I mean, not that this makes the argument as far as it is a sin, but I do think clothes are necessary because, I mean, weather changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, who wants to be naked in negative 14-degree weather? You know what I'm saying? So I do think clothes are. I don't think clothes are necessarily bad, but I do think that nudity is not necessarily bad as a whole, but it's kind of it can possibly lead to bad because once again, if I see the right woman naked, I ain't thinking about no Christian values or nothing.
Like, but if you saw every woman naked all the time, that would probably go away.
It probably would.
Yeah, right. Then it's just whatever.
I agree, but that's not nowhere near the case. I mean, people have worn clothes since the shame was felt. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'll tell you why this idea came to my head. I was telling somebody a story one time because, as I've said before, I used to be married. I was married to a German woman. They have a very different culture. And when you go to Europe, you kind of have to adapt to their culture because they're not going to adapt their culture to you, right? So I had to go. I went. Well, I didn't have to. They invited me to go to a spa with them, and the spa had this big. Their whole big thing was all their saunas. Mm-hmm. Well, it's nudity mandatory, and not only that, but it's co-ed. So you're sitting around in these spas with a bunch of naked people. Right,
but that's still a controlled environment, just like a strip club.
The point of the story is, it wasn't sexual. It never was. Even though, and I'll hint to Rudy's part here. Even though there were some amazing looking women in there really was, but it didn't have that air of sexuality. I mean, there was like a 21-year-old model in there with me, and it. Nothing happened. I wasn't worried about it because it didn't feel like that. There was a real, because of the way their culture is, the way they look at it, there was a real separation. Like people were having conversations about the economy
But did you know that everybody was going to be nude prior to getting nude, or you found out as everybody?
I did. They told me because of the way their spas are set up.
Right.
They said you're going to go from a dry one to a wet one, from a dry one to a wet one. And if you have any textile fabrics, that's going to create mold and they can't have that. So blah, blah, blah. So they did give me a reason because here, if you go to a sauna here, it's usually like shorts or it's a towel or it's a robe or something like that. But that's just simply dry Swedish saunas. There's several different types. So, so they did explain it to me. It wasn't just like, hey, let's get naked for the sake of it.
Right. But to that point, that's what I feel like because of that, I feel like it's easier for everybody to be on that same mindset because we all know we finna be out. You know what I'm saying? Like as opposed, because even going back to the whole attraction thing, me as a man, I may not consider nudity a sin if I'm in a sauna and I see another dude in there naked because that happens all the time, especially old men. They be in there, I'm to my ass naked.
Exactly.
But nothing about that turns me on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But if you were a gay man and you walked in there, you still wouldn't be turned on. Most likely, because and I'll give you a good example. In those saunas, some of those, there were kids in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
But now there's supposed to be an age limit. When I went there, I read all the rules and the whole thing. They give you a whole little pamphlet and whatnot. And it's not just saunas, by the way. They had like massages and pools and all this other kind of stuff. So, but yeah, it says 14 and above. I don't know, because on my last day, some mother walked in there with her two daughters, and one of them didn't look like she was 10,
Right.
And so that was my limit. I fucking bounced as soon as I watched them walk in, because it wasn't about. It wasn't about I didn't want them to. I didn't want to see them. I didn't want them to see me, and then that turned into a conversation about. But that's shame the sin.
But that makes a major point because why don't you want little girls to see you if there's nothing wrong with being naked?
Exactly, because
You know
of the
what I'm saying?
shame, and that shame comes from original sin.
But I'm saying, but is that shame wrong? Because I mean, regardless of where it came from, I don't want any little girl seeing me naked, and I don't want to see her naked.
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing
You
is
feel what I'm saying? Like, go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. Because we had original sin, and because evil was put into something that was made pure, right?
Mhm.
Now, my first thought when I see kids walk in there is, oh, I don't want them to see my dick, because I know the evil exists now. I know there are people that would opt for that. I know there are pedophiles in the world. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's when we got the knowledge that evil existed, and we're all afraid of being evil. And that's just one marker of, like, you know, oh, I can't show any of my body because somebody's going to think I'm evil, or I might act evilly.
Right. But it still goes back to the whole attraction thing, because if you're attracted to little girls, then if you see a little girl naked, that will intensify your attraction. If you're attracted to grown women, if you're attracted to
little girls, you're evil, though.
If you're but that's beside the point. I'm saying if you're attracted to 75-year-old women, it's still, I still think that people are going to consider it a sin if it can lead to sin. Because if it doesn't lead to sin, then it's easy to say, well, then it's not a sin. Because what's wrong with being naked? Like, you know, and especially you even think about, I mean, people walk around their house naked all the time, especially if you comfortable with this person, you married to this person, y'all done seen each other naked before, you don't care nothing about this person walking around naked.
That's different.
But I'm just saying in general. So like every scenario of where you can be naked would seem either appropriate or inappropriate, because if you even as a customer walked into a strip club and took off and got naked, you would look way less crazy than if you walked into a nursery and got naked.
Whoa, take it easy.
What I'm saying? No, I'm saying because of the fact that nudity is not just nudity. It's literally a case by case.
I'm pretty sure if you walk into a strip club and get naked, you're getting arrested.
I said you would look way less crazy than if you did it at a nursery.
I guess.
You don't think so?
That is a weird analogy. I will say this to Rudy's point about 75-year-old women, and well, there was a lot of elderly people because they do it for health and well-being. That's their whole thing. Is it helps you breathe and do this and that. So yeah, there were a lot of older folks in there too, and goodness gracious, you don't want to see an 80-year-old naked German man. Trust me, it's not fun for anybody.
Once again, I've been to regular saunas at regular gyms when I was in the army gyms. I done seen naked old men and they little flat asses all the time. They little saggy balls, saggy
Why
chest.
does that always happen when you get older? Your ass just disappears.
Saggy
goes away.
That's white men. Saggy chest, big stomach. Like I see this all the time, and I don't think anything about it because when I walk in, I just look the other way. I sit down on my other side or whatever. I ain't conversating with them. Nothing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've been in football locker rooms. I've seen men naked all the time. You're getting in the shower, changing clothes, whatever. So none of this feels sinful to me because I'm not in a sinful environment. But
you're not in a sinful mindset.
But I'm saying, I am, because if you take me and put me in a women's locker room, I wouldn't care how musty they were, nothing. Like I'm staying to see, you know what I'm saying? Like because that's what I'm into. So that becomes the sin. So I think it more or less can lead to sin as opposed to it itself being a sin, because it's too case by case. Like some situations it's absolutely fine, other situations you going to hell. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think it's similar to what did we talk about last week? This week?
It was
gambling.
Gambling is sin. Yeah.
I think it's kind of what we were talking about with gambling, where gambling itself may not be a sin, but what it may lead to or what may manifest from it or the intent behind it may be the sin. So nudity itself may not be a sin, but if you're looking at it, the naked women in the locker room for the males, because I had a similar experience to you, Terry, in a spa here in Georgia, where women have to, but they separate it. So and women they do, and you have to be naked. Yeah. If you want to go into like this one area, so it's like the jacuzzi pool, the real pool, I think, and then if you want to get like a massage and a body scrub and all of that, like you have to be completely naked. And in that space, I felt more uncomfortable because I'm like, oh, women are looking at my body and my body didn't look that great. Like
that's insecurity. That's what
right,
that
exactly.
Yeah.
So so it was more about me and my own insecurities instead of, oh, we're doing something wrong because we're all walking around here naked. And like you said, we sat in a jacuzzi and talked about life and the world and and whatever.
Well, yeah, and men have an insecurity too, don't forget, because as soon as we get in that situation, we start looking around to see where we rank in the
right.
If there's 10 nigga dudes, we're like, woohoo, number 8. All right, I'll take
and
it.
That's the thing. Like, that's I only got 10 rows, when somebody else got 11, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good.
But you don't want to be number 1 on that list.
Or number 10, depending on how you count.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm going 10 with right.
That's I got you.
Nomenclature.
That's why I'm saying it depends on how either way, you don't want to be last.
So I would agree. I don't think nudity is a sin, but I think that it can lead itself to sinful.
Well, there's a verse that basically says it's not. I'm paraphrasing.
No, don't paraphrase. Find it.
Okay.
Last
I'll
week,
the part I know.
Last week you said 2 Ephesians, and it's only
not.
One. Okay.
It's what comes. Look, I'm not going to paraphrase it. I'll tell you the part I know. It's what comes out of the heart of the man that makes him wicked. It's what comes out. Yeah. So there's a verse that says, it's better to not fall into drunkenness, but it's not the drunkenness that is the sin. It is what comes out of the heart of a man.
Right.
During his drunkenness.
And it's what nudity can lead to. It can bring that shit out. Like if I'm
but alcohol can bring that shit out.
It can, but if alcohol is not the normal, like if you get drunk and that causes you to just say sin, then that's one thing. But if nudity or porn or like there's men who get married and still be addicted to porn. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's still something that they want to see when they got a whole wife right there. So. It's a thing. Either way, this is what I was going to say. Janessa, did you have anything to say? Because I did have another question for the group.
Nope, go ahead.
Okay. So another version of this question, Kelly, you can start if you like, because I know me and Terry, we've been talking a lot. Is nudity in like movies and stuff and TV, is that a sin? Whether you're the person putting it in there, whether you're the person watching, I don't care how you want to format it. But even more specifically.
No,
okay, go ahead.
I think it's the same thing. I think what is the
and I'm talking about like sex scenes. I ain't talking about like somebody standing there. I ain't talking about Rose getting painted on the couch on Titanic.
But I think it goes back to So for me, I guess it goes back to, and we don't have to go down this rabbit hole, and we probably had this conversation now. We're 40 episodes in. I can't remember all our conversations now.
Right.
But about is sex before marriage a sin?
Right.
So if you're telling me a sex scene between two unmarried people,
right. I got you.
Mm-hmm. So then,
and it doesn't have nudity. It's just two people having sex off camera.
Right. So, like I said, so it depends on what we're doing. So if we're talking about, like I said, it depends on what you consider a sin. So if we say sex before marriage is a sin, 2 single people or unmarried people having sex on camera, off camera is a sin. 2 married people who are naked having sex. But the thing is, in the movie though, ain't none of them really you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's
but I'm saying,
but you can start a whole new format of porn where it's like, you film the porn, but it's all the actors are married to each other, so then you can watch it.
Right? Does it make it better? Right? Does that make it different? Not necessarily.
Now it's not a sin. Now it's showmanship.
But does it make it different? But does it make it different if you're acting? Because that's just like in no offense, Terry, but like, what if you put Terry in a movie and then he has to be like the Leonardo DiCaprio in Django? He has to be like nigga this, nigga that, fuck black people, and he doesn't really feel like that, but he's acting a character.
I'm starting to feel like that right now.
he's acting out of character to make whatever point this movie's trying to make. You feel what I'm saying? So even in that same sense, what the hell?
I thought that was Janessa.
Did
Did
you start getting your ass beat? It sounded like you cut off the camera and got into a fight.
I forgot to mute the camera.
What in the hell?
I was trying to clean the
the screen.
The screen.
Oh.
I guess the microphone maybe.
That sounded like you broke out into a brawl. Like what bitch? What bitch? You cut the camera off.
No, because you were talking about Django and slavery, and I'm like, you in that scene in Roots? What is this?
I'm sorry.
Running?
I should have pressed mute and then stop camera.
You made her big or whatever happened. Because I wish you could see all of our face. Like,
I just kept wanting to hear like, your name is Toby or something like that.
what is
No, I was trying to mute her. I accidentally clicked the damn thing. I'm actually glad I figured out how to do that.
Kelly. You were like, damn, Kelly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I made the screen black, so they shouldn't be able to hear it. And I'm over here wiping away.
That shit was loud as hell.
It's almost like cameras and microphones are a different thing.
Oh God.
I'm telling you.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know. I don't even know what I was saying.
I gotta listen to it now to see what it sounds like.
But you know what question I had, and this may be, and you
can
get your.
Don't forget your question, real quick. I was saying to your point about if we're watching a person who's two people acting,
right?
They're acting married, and they have a sex scene, and they're doing it because they're trying to portray that, like, and just say the movie was about two people, they waited till marriage to have sex, and then they showed them having sex. Right. And the point of the movie is to wait to marriage. Are these two unmarried people in real life wrong for acting to make a point of what they want the narrative to be in real life?
Well, I'm gonna play one extreme end.
Okay.
This may not be my real thoughts. Disclaimer, everyone. Yes. So let me say yes. But I guess I've never been an actor or actress, rather. Sex scenes aren't real, but if you're naked for the purpose of, and we're saying nudity, so I don't know.
How about this? How about can somebody who does porn for a living, can they be married and not be committing adultery?
No, because they're actually having sex on porn.
Yeah,
I get it.
They're not
still just acting.
But they're not. No. But they're not pretending intercourse.
Most
they're
women
actually
are
having
anyway.
But, right. You know. In reference to. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kelly.
And they're having like the purpose of porn is for adult entertainment, for someone else to get off on them having it. You know, for us watching them have sex.
Right.
So if you're
God bless them for doing it.
If you're having sex with someone other than your spouse for the purpose of entertainment for somebody else, definitely adultery.
Right. Because you're still acting. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were going.
No, I was gonna say, even if your spouse is okay with it, it's still adultery. But go ahead.
Right. No, I'm just saying because you're actually having sex. Like when they're having sex scenes in a movie, they're not actually having intercourse. Somebody's talking them through. Okay, now rub her ass. Okay, now kiss her on the neck. Okay, cut. And I'm gonna do it from this angle. Okay, now we'll get sweat right here. Moan real hard, acting like he's eating you out. Whatever the case.
That's exactly what happens.
Right? It is.
Somebody who's done a few porns, and she says yes, it's very clinical.
But I'm saying, but in porn, the man's penis is actually going in this woman. It's not. It's not an imitation of what sex is. They're actually having sex. Now, how much they're actually moaning or whatever, that can be acting all at once. But the act of sex and intercourse is actually happening. Like his meat is really in her mouth or in her vajayjay. Like it's a thing.
When you grow up, you're in your 30s. Good Lord.
Gracious.
Right. It's sex. What?
God. I don't do those type of things.
Penetration.
Oh my gracious!
Now we're just creeping out Kelly.
What kind of preacher's kid?
No, she said she's never acted before. This is it.
Oh, yeah.
And cut.
And
woman. I'm pretty sure she's acted before.
Okay, Kelly, I need you to do that again, but this time I need you to get more shots.
This angle. Okay, here we go.
I
Let
think
your pearls a little harder. Okay, go ahead.
Action.
I don't think there's a grown woman in America today who hasn't at least acted once or twice in the bedroom. Okay, that's what I think.
Hey, man.
Okay.
Better them than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Just saying. It goes back to the drunkenness too. It's not what.
And cut. Great, Kelly. Great job.
It's not what goes into a man
One more time.
That's
One more.
That's the verse. Actually, I just remembered it. It's not what goes into a man that defiles him; it's what comes out of his heart. That's the verse.
Look it up. I still don't believe you.
Okay, I'll confirm it.
Because if it was in 2 Ephesians, you're wrong.
Shut up with the 2 Ephesians.
I didn't have my Bible.
Thing, and all of a sudden I'm a
I
pariah.
didn't leave my Bible with y'all. I'm sorry.
I gotta go back and look at my
And
face.
that was one of our listeners who pointed it out to me. So you said it.
I mean, I definitely obviously said it wrong. I am fallible just like the rest of you.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I want you
just because I'm awesome doesn't mean I'm perfect.
That's why I want you to look it up.
And seen them like that.
Yeah, right. That's why I want you to look it up so we can actually hear what it says and not.
Yeah. Thank you, listener, because I was thinking here too. I hope my face didn't show it. I was like, second.
This is from about the gambling.
Yeah, the last episode.
It was a real verse. I just called it out the wrong verse.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. So
I was looking right at it. It was a real verse.
We all sin and fall short.
Yeah, right. So let me ask you this, Kellie and Janessa, as Christian women, would you? And I need a real answer. Please do not act. Would you ever, like on vacation or whatever, would you ever go to a nude beach?
Oh, in real life?
In real life.
Let me tell you something.
You've been. Okay, so Janessa. Oh, okay. She's like, let me tell you something. This one time.
Yes, it's a real verse. It's Matthew 15.
15 what?
He can read it when you're done. Go ahead.
15:11.
I'm
not gonna read it. I just read it. I just said it.
I am on this weight loss journey, on this healthy lifestyle journey. I'm down 50 pounds. Looking to be down. Thank you. Looking to be down another 15, 20. And I would most definitely go to a nude beach and strut my stuff, honey. I'm here.
Gotcha.
Sure would.
I've been on one, and I gotta be honest, it's actually kind of nice. You know, you feel like natural. You feel like I mean, this wasn't here. This was on the French Riviera, but still, you know, so nobody gave a shit over there. But I
don't know if I really want to see all these women naked. Cause you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, most of them you don't actually. I thought one of them was a guy. And I was like, oh, when she stood up, I was like, oh, you a lady.
Well, I didn't mean like manly, but I'm saying like, you know, like clothes and bras, all that stuff keeps women together. You know what I'm saying? So like, well, I mean, it does. Waist trainer, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I want to see a woman just out. Just
you know what?
First
of all, that's fucking terrible.
I have,
that is terrible. This is why women get eating disorders because of people like you. You are beautiful as God made you, ladies.
Thank you.
But if that's the case, then why are we wearing waist trainers?
But like Rudy, I get
because of people like you.
I don't know. I like natural. I am a no makeup.
You just said I don't know if I want to see all these.
I said all women, because of the fact that most women that I see, especially celebrities or whatever, they already have a perfect image in my mind. You know what I'm saying? And I would want to keep that. I wouldn't want to see them raw.
Right, exactly. So it's not the nudity that makes it gross. It's our perspective that we created. We created
I
that.
didn't create anything. Adam and
no,
Eve
we as a society created that.
Adam and Eve did that shit before society showed up.
Perfect example of what I'm talking about. When I was young, having a big ass was a bad thing. And now that I'm 40, it's what every girl wants. Do you get what I'm saying?
That was in the white community.
I understand. It was in the white.
It was before,
big ass before Sir Mix-a-Lot came out and made it okay to be proud.
I always love thick women.
Well,
I don't care what you are. I'm saying you could be big, small, whatever. My whole thing is I love natural. I wouldn't give a damn about that. But I'm saying, but to see every woman naked, that'll be disappointing.
But they still get the right to exist.
But I think it's more like the nude beach question. I think it's more of just like you said, clothes hold us together, and no clothes is just freedom. You're just free. Mm-hmm. You just lose. Like you said, it's not.
It feels very freeing after.
Yeah, like I wouldn't do it in like a. You know, I'm not gonna go to Miami and wear like a thong bikini and my, my breast. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna go and do that, even though my body is gonna be amazing. I'm claiming it.
That's right.
But I still wouldn't do that. But like I said, in a nude beach, just for the freedom of, like I said, at the beach, because where else can you, unless you have a little private island or a little private beach, like where else can you go to the beach and be naked other than the nude beach that you can go to for free? You know,
I
like,
used to have a girlfriend that would tan nude on our balcony because it's way up high. We're on the top floor, nobody can see.
so, you know, like, but most time, but it's private, you know. But like I said, I just feel like it's a freeing experience. Would it be something that I would do regularly? Probably not. But would I go experience it? For sure. It's like I went to Jeju and went and sat in the pool with a whole bunch of naked women and we chatted about life.
Hey,
could you do that
Giovanni
with
went
could you do that with a
to,
bunch of attractive naked men?
Probably not.
Gotcha. Okay.
my
Giovanni,
co-host from my
what
other podcast,
Mhm.
she went out to one of these nudist events where they all sat around the fire out in the woods and whatnot and like talked and sang songs and did all this stuff.
That's a little
She's
much.
like, I loved it. She's like, I loved it. I felt like I was communing with nature and everybody.
That's a
Until
little
the
much.
mosquitoes bite your ass.
Right.
You know, that's a little much.
She
I
said
like
it was great.
because it's not, you know, at the beach you're really only interacting with the people that you went to the beach with, you know. And even if I'm going to the beach naked, I'm probably not like frolicking across the sand like, hey, come look at me, you know. It's probably
No Baywatch run.
right. No, probably
Trust
not
me,
doing all
either
that.
one of those situations are going to give you that exhilarating feel of just like, I'm totally free.
Yeah,
I'm literally hiding nothing.
I would do
But
that.
the fact that people don't feel totally free with clothes on really disturbs me.
So this is my question that I
That's
had.
the good philosophical question we should ask.
So my question earlier was, is there a difference between, there may not be, but is there a difference between being naked and being nude?
No.
Okay. Is it the same definition, same word?
Yeah.
Is it synonymous? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if.
I mean,
you could say naked too, which is how you pronounce that word, but we can go with naked.
I can't stand you, Terry Wayne. I wish I knew your last name.
First of all, is naked in Second Ephesians, motherfucker? Why you trying to correct somebody?
Ooh, somebody put vinegar in your Cheerios.
Thank you.
Vinegar and
Put vinegar in
Cheerios.
my Frosted Flakes.
Well, you know what it is? It's my vengeance for every time you guys say especially.
Espresso.
We heard you on Sunday.
It is nails on a
Just
chalkboard.
ignored you every single time.
And I also call this jury. So
Jury, espresso.
No, you have a jury of your peers.
And a library.
That's right. Apartment, the street.
Scrumps.
I know. And people say, oh, it's an accent, or oh, it's Ebonics, or oh, it's a bunch of people saying words wrong. That's what it is.
Collard greens.
Well, that is how you say that.
No, collar. Not
collard greens?
Not collard. Collar.
That's all that southern.
Go ahead, Janessa.
That's all that southern stuff, all those accent I left behind when I left out of there.
Too bad for you.
How do you pronounce the word naked, Terry?
What?
How do you pronounce the word?
How do you pronounce naked?
Naked? With an A? Instead of, you pronounce it as Necked. Naked. Like neck it. Like neck. It's naked because there's an A in it.
Thank you, Terry.
But there's also an E in it.
I just had it in the wrong space. Apparently.
Yeah, one.
That's one A.
It comes after the
K.
The A comes before the K.
Thank you,
Rudy, to
Which
answer
is why
your
we
question,
say naked instead of naked.
Terry,
whatever.
I'm obviously joking. Okay.
To answer your question, Rudy, I would go to a nude beach. It's actually on my bucket list.
Okay, I didn't ask you, but I'm glad you brought that up.
You did ask me.
I asked Kelly.
No, you said Kelly answered first.
Okay, I'm sorry. I tried to out.
No, but I would go, and it's actually on my bucket list. But the whole vision on the bucket list is to go to a private nude beach with like a private chef where they have crab legs that have already been cracked. It's just like the meat on the plate and butter, and somebody bringing me that, mashed potatoes and margaritas on the beach with Chris, and we have like massages and everything. But until I can get that, I would also still go to like a regular free, I don't
want to move past this crab and mashed potatoes nonsense.
That's right.
You just said.
But it have to be already cracked.
You were painting a very nice picture. I was like, oh, this is like the end of Trading Places, but no, and then you're like mashed potatoes and I'm like, ugh.
And asparagus, okay, with some good butter garlic sauce,
potatoes,
and some margaritas, the endless margaritas.
Well, that makes sense. The crab makes sense,
and some
margaritas make sense. It would be like if we all went out for ice cream and all of you got cones and I got a salad. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. It's just weird and off-putting.
Kelly, to answer your question, naked, nude, and nudity are pretty much all the same. Nude and nudity are basically just a state of being naked, because literally both of them have the word naked in the definition, and naked is defined as without clothing.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, they're all
synonyms.
Yeah.
We're going right back to high school English on this podcast.
I think it's fun.
It is fun.
Because when you think of naked, I think outside of like not wearing, I don't know, I guess when you think of more of a not a physical sense of naked, I don't know. I can't.
But yeah, because you can be half naked.
You could.
Look at her, half naked.
Half nude.
So it's half naked a sin.
Yeah, is it a sin if you just put some pasties
But I'm
on?
saying, but if you half naked, you obviously are. I ain't gonna say obviously, but it's more likely to say that you are thirst trapping, male or female, as opposed to somebody who's just being free and nude. They have more of a no, I'm just being free. No, I don't like wearing clothes, as opposed to somebody who's like, let me hike this up here, or let me tighten this up here.
Well,
guys,
if that's
whatever.
true, then the question should have been for this podcast: what is so wrong about nipples, crotches, and buttholes that makes them a sin? Because if you cover those up, you're not naked anymore. You're just half naked.
Yeah. If you have your boobs out, but you got the nipples covered.
The difference between a regular beach and a nude beach is about 6 square inches of cloth.
I mean, honestly, when women wear tights as pants,
they're naked.
You've been on TikTok too much.
I don't be on TikTok at all. I see this in live and living color.
Oh yeah, that's the trend now.
First of all, I wear leggings every day. I feel attacked.
I'm not. Listen.
I have on leggings now.
I can't even see your legs. So I don't know what you're doing. I'm just saying, when women wear tights, especially with nothing covering it, all I'm saying is I can,
you can make out everything. You can see the hills and valleys.
It's free porn.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
That's true.
I feel just
Amen.
Right. Yeah, they're all looking at you.
All right,
Kelly. I am as God made me.
All righty, church announcements. So, man, you know what, guys? I really, really, really intended to update this page.
Just go ahead.
You don't want to hear
just apologize.
You don't want to hear
it.
All right, find us on Instagram at the worst ones PK. Follow us, DM us, like our pictures, comment. I promise we will respond. We appreciate it. If you would like to, please listen to us, watch us, enjoy us. If you would like to see us, YouTube, the Worst Ones Podcast. If you would like to listen to us, Spotify, Apple Music, or any other place where you can find podcasts, and just search the Worst Ones Podcast. Of course, once you listen, please engage with us. Please like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share with others. As always, all 500 million of you, we appreciate you. We love you. Personal page at Princess Scales 51. Jay Rihanna?
Oh, sorry. Yep, you can follow me at Melanated Brews for all things coffee, tea, and beer. It is beer season. Football is coming, or not football is coming. Football is here. I plan to add some stuff, some beer-related stuff within the next coming weeks. So just check me out. There's fun stuff over there. And then if you want to follow my personal page, it's at JRihanna _. That's it.
Hey.
Oh, look at there. There's me. Terry Wayne Comedy, all social media platforms. I've got a new tour going out. with a bunch of great comics. Not Rudy, because we wanted it to be good. And we're going to be this Saturday night, Fins and Things, down in Sunrise. So if anybody from Georgia wants to make the drive, it will not be worth it.
We won't be there.
Nope.
We won't be there.
Maybe I can get it to stream it on something. Oh, and don't forget, it's coming right up on our little The Worst Ones podcasts. We'll call it a revival.
Revival.
August 6th in Atlanta. Hot
November 6th.
That's a revival.
This nigga said August 6th. Lord have mercy.
I said November 6th.
You said August.
Wow. Play
Did
back
I?
the tape.
Oh, well,
roll back the tape.
Yeah,
Right.
it's August 6th next year.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
November 6th.
I know, I'm excited.
Okay.
And Terry's cooking for us. Pies.
That's true. I said I would make chicken.
And chicken. Pies and chicken.
Pies
And
and I do
pies.
collard greens.
Pies and
Lord.
chicken.
Well, whose kitchen am I using? How about that?
Kellie's.
You can use mine.
I'm pretty sure the Ramada doesn't have that.
You can use mine. It's limited on. Let me not say that to our 500.
No, I'll bring
Off
things.
recording.
All right, so here we go. Well, before I get to my DJ Envy, Seti Hendrix, and Dave Hollister. You guys know?
Oh, I like Dave Hollister.
I've never heard of Seti Hendrix.
Yeah, I don't know Seti Hendrix, but I
like
like
Raz
Dave.
B over there.
And then they had boom. Then they had some little state woke thing. Last year they had Charlemagne. This year they had T.I.
Okay.
Oh, look at y'all.
They got the Charlemagne and the T.I.
We can't afford them to perform now. You can just come talk. You know what I'm saying?
Use his big intellectual words.
Right. Expeditiously, his big word.
Right.
For the comedy show, you got
Rudy.
Oh, right now, never. I've been trying to do a comedy show there for the longest. They don't fucking like. Anyways, Mr. Bankshot, Tyler Chronicles, Lovely Mimi, and Darren Brand.
Tyler Chronicles is the morning host with Big Tigger. Big Tigger in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
On B103.
There you go.
Interesting.
There you go. Okay. And then lastly, they got the I know y'all know these folk here. On Sunday, they got a gospel explosion.
Hey.
With John P. Key and New Life and Leandria Johnson.
What? Now that's the best thing.
That's where y'all spend all y'all money. Come on.
What?
Well, you know we're a Christian school, so well.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's owned by the AME. Christian might be a stretch, but but it's yeah. So
maybe I ought not do a set if that's the case.
Nice.
What are you talking about? This is our homecoming. What are you talking about here?
All right.
This is literally happening this Sunday, not November 6th or August 6th.
Oh, August 6th. Yes.
Whichever day you
Augusto.
The gospel explosion lit.
Yeah. So so the last gospel explosion they had our choir and me preaching. All right.
So you can come and preach, but you can't.
Rudy preach. I will.
That was the last gospel explosion they ever had when I was in school. All right.
So you preach, but you can't come back and do the comedy show. That's funny.
No, I was a student. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
I wasn't alumni.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ever since I became an alumni.
Brush past this. I want to hear Rudy preach. I'm gonna
go to YouTube. What are you talking about? I mean, go to YouTube.
YouTube. What do we type in YouTube? Rudy Wilson.
Put the link in the show page so
you can find anything you want by putting Rudy Wilson and then whatever it is after it. You'll find me.
Why don't you just share it to our Worst Ones page?
Rudy Wilson preaching, Rudy Wilson comedy, anything. You'll find.
You doing some real dancing or your funny dancing?
What you think? You think I'm really out here dancing?
I don't know.
You really think I'm out here serving? Because all right, let's close out this show. The podcast official page. Follow us. Fuck with us. We got a episode coming up this Monday on the 25th. If you hear this by then, I think this will be after the 25th. Either way, it was yesterday. So you missed it. But I announced it last week. So if you came, shout out to you.
This is getting confusing.
And then, you're not welcome anyway. No, I'm just kidding. No, I would like you to come. I'll send you the link, Terry. And then interested sponsors. Any interested sponsors, come rock with us.
Or you can check out my OnlyFans page and support us that way.
Kelly,
you want to do that?
Kelly gonna get us flagged. This gonna be the one episode that blow up. They're gonna be like, we need our money.
Give us money. Because now everybody listening to you.
We seen that bag.
No, that's fine. You can have the bag. Doesn't count.
All right. Anyway, we appreciate you guys listening. We are the worst ones. Until next time, we out.
Top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah.